There's a Cinderella in every little girl, and every Cinderella has a dream. Liubov, for example, didn't dream about a carriage and crystal shoes. Her cherished dream was to have a bicycle, and soon the fairy godmother and then Prince Charming appeared in the life of the heroine of today's program. Meet a two-time European track cycling champion, Liubov Basova.
На старт, стой! На старт, внимание, марш! Не догонишь, не догонишь, не догонишь, не догонишь, догонишь, догонишь.
Рак. Хризантема. Зима. Если честно, то мне нравится Минск.
Liuba Shulika was born in 1988 in the village of Sharapivka, Vinnytsia Oblast. When she was 1 year old, her family moved to a village near Luhansk. They weren't rich, so Liuba could only dream about certain things. I wanted a bicycle very much for some reason. I had this dream since my childhood, but my parents couldn't afford to buy me a bike. But it's very harmful not to go to the ball if you deserve it. For 11-year-old Liuba, her first coach Nadia Baklanova became the fairy godmother. They met in spring during a holiday in the village, and the coach suggested that she start training sessions in September. I remember I took my mother's shoes with small heels and rode the bicycle wearing them. That bicycle became Liuba's first vehicle and piece of sports equipment. In a year, a famous coach named Serhiy Bazin started training her. Just the day before that, he stopped training Irina Yanovich, who had won a bronze medal in the Olympics in Sydney. And Liuba's appearance in the life of Serhiy Bazin gave him new hopes. The young student was very talented and incredibly hardworking. When she was 12, we started training seriously, and at the age of 15, we went to Moscow, though she wasn't allowed to participate in the competitions yet. She set a world record, which wasn't registered, as you can't officially set such records when at the age of 15. And when she went to the first European Championship, I realized that fate had smiled at me and made it up to me. One person left and another came. How fast was it? Did you notice? No, I didn't. Open the circles menu. Here it is. I should start wearing glasses. Liuba lost her parents at an early age, and the coach basically replaced her father. He strictly controlled her schedule, and sometimes even didn't let her go out. Once, when Liuba was 16, she rebelled and said that she would quit sports, but after a month, she returned and, as if nothing had happened, continued her training. Now she's a strong athlete, but when she started training, she had hair below her waist. She cried when she was told to cut her hair because the back of her head was constantly sweating. So she was left no choice but to cut her hair. And for a long time, she looked at me with a begrudging grimace on her face. First, the discipline Liubov Shulika was the most successful in was the sprint. Participating in sprint competitions in 2011, she became the European champion in Apeldoorn and won the World Cup in Astana. In the 2012 Olympic Games in London, Liubov competed in 4 disciplines. She was the most successful in the team sprint. Liubov Basova and Elena Tsos reached the final, where in a fierce race to cross the finish line for a bronze medal, they lost to the Australian team. Of course, it was difficult for us to compete with Australians, as they showed an excellent result in the first circle. I performed before all the other teams, but unfortunately, we didn't show good results in the first circle. It was most likely one of the reasons we lost. It was a shame, as we were desperately trying to take 3rd place. After the Olympics in London, Liuba got married and changed her last name from Shulika to Basova. Her Prince Charming was a former athlete, a high jumper. Because of his physical condition, Alexander couldn't continue his sport career, and he became not only Liuba's husband, but also her second coach. In short, he joined the sports family of his beloved wife.
Почему еще тренер принял моего мужа, так как он всегда был против всех матчей, как и все тренера, наверное, скорее всего, общения и так далее.
The reason my coach accepted my husband, although he has always been against men like all the coaches, was that my husband's last name is Bazov, and the coach is Bazin. They have birthday on the same day, May 27th, so they are both Gemini. That's why I accepted him and said, he's Howard.
Только ты сразу пап говори, ладно? Все, давай. Да.
But for Sasha, Lyuba wasn't sure whether she would have returned to sport after the Olympics in 2012. He became her reliable supporter and inspired her to develop her sports career. And even when Lyuba gave birth to their daughter, Diana, and didn't want to part with her, her husband promised to help with everything. Over 6 months, Basova managed to achieve the impossible. She received a license for participation in the Olympics in Rio. When the conflict in east of Ukraine broke out, the young family had to leave their home in Luhansk and move to Lviv. Life in Western Ukraine brought new traditions to the Basov family. In the east in Luhansk, our family never celebrated St. Nicholas Day. We didn't prepare gifts on this day. My mother always put presents under the pillow on New Year's Eve. And here we have St. Nicholas. He came into our lives. St. Nicholas should bring something and put it under the pillow. We didn't have it earlier, and now we do.
То есть раньше такого у нас не было, а сейчас у нас уже такое есть. Скорее всего, борщ. Холодец. Готовлю сама. Чай зеленый.
A team of cyclists lives in a hotel in the suburbs of Lviv. In winter, they go to training camps in Turkey, and in summer, they train on the only indoor velodrome in Ukraine that has a wooden roof. Everyone knows Lyuba, loves her, and watches her perform in all international competitions.
Вона дуже позитивна людина. От заходить, усмішка.
She's a very positive person. She comes in with a smile on her face. We hug. Her coach is a bit jealous. Lyuba is an example of how a person should work hard, day and night. In a training camp, they spend nights and day on the track, and we do everything we can to help them.
Коли проходить навчально-тренувальний збор тут на манежі, вони з тренером і днюють тут, і ночують. Но ми всебічно допомагаємо їм.
Before the Olympics, Lyuba changed her priorities in the disciplines. And of course, Lyubov counted on winning a medal. The National Olympic Committee provided her with a new bicycle frame. After that, she needed to live up to her hopes, as well as the expectations of her coach and the state. I was set for a medal, but you know, carrying is like playing in the casino. It matters which track you pull, and so you'll go. Of course, you could ride around, but you don't have eyes on your back. You want to do one thing, but it turns out you do another. Or the third athlete reaches you from the top. I had a situation when I was literally stuck in a box, and I just couldn't physically get out of it. I could neither go right nor left. Although when I finished the race, I cried with joy.
У меня получилась такая ситуация, что меня просто закрыли в коробочку, и я просто чисто физически не могла выехать ни вправо, ни влево. Хотя, когда я финишнула, я так плакала.
She needs to be bolder. She is too gentle. If she closed the way for her friend Anna Mears from Australia, put her elbow and showed her who's the boss in the house. But she slightly released the handlebar, as Sprinter says. But these are the Olympics.
Было понятно, кто в доме хозяин. Ну, она немножко выпустила руль, как обычно говорят, спринтера. И, ну, это Олимпийские игры.
In the final of 6 in carrying, Liubov Basova took 5th place. Alice Litley won the gold medal, Rebecca James came in 2nd, and Basova's friend from Australia, Anna Mears, won the bronze medal. Although the 5th place of Liubov Basova became one of the best achievements of Ukrainian athletes in the Rio Olympics, Lyuba was depressed for 2 months. But when later she got back to the competition, she impressed everyone with great results.
Это, наверное, злость, наверное, маленькая была. То, что
Perhaps it was some kind of anger, as my performance was evaluated as unsatisfactory. So I think in some way my next performance was my response to all that. I wanted to prove that I had tried hard, and it had been very difficult.
Я старалась, и это было очень тяжело.
In October 2016, for the second time in her career, Lyubov became the European champion, this time in carrying. It was the first gold medal won by Ukrainians on the continent over the past 5 years. As a reminder, Lyubov also won the previous championships in the sprint competitions under the name Shulika. In 2017, Basova won the World Carrying Cup. Now she aims at winning a gold medal in the World Championship and an Olympic gold medal.
Мне очень хочется золота на Олимпийских играх, правда. Я думаю, все-таки это взаимоотношения. Я думаю, ребенок.
Пойдешь ко мне на ручки? Иди. Нет. Нет? Ну, как хочешь. Дядя будет сейчас просто снимать. Видишь, тебя снимает, как ты. Я свинка Пеппа. Да? Нет. Ну, не будет тебя снимать. Ну, не хочешь, так не хочешь. Ты где? Не хочет. Свой характер имеет такой, что... Не дай бог.
Diana is the meaning of Lyubov's life. The birth of a daughter made Lyubov very happy. Diana already has a few bikes in her collections. She has all the makings of a future athlete and champion. She rides a bicycle very quickly. She used to have a kick scooter. Now she has a big bicycle for adults. She rides it very easily and smoothly. She does everything with me. General physical training, stretching. She knows how to do all the exercise. It's always difficult for Lyuba to part with her daughter. That's why she takes her to training camps whenever it's possible. The longest period Lyubov didn't see her daughter was 27 days. My husband doesn't allow me to talk with our kid on Skype when I go to the competitions because I'm a very vulnerable person, so to say. It is very hard for me to part with my kid, very hard. During the first 2 or 3 days, I'm missing her very much. I'm suffering. Sometimes I even can't do my best in training because all I can think about is my beautiful daughter. In her free time, Lyuba knits and embroiders. It helps her forget about rough moments in sport competitions. Lyubov enjoys spending time at home, though she doesn't like excessive attention. That's part of her nature. I don't like being talked about or looked at. I like sitting quietly in my own state of mind, but after that I like exploding, you know? I'm quiet, and then all of a sudden, boom. It feels like fireworks are exploding inside my body. But cycling is not for shy and weak people. On the track, Lyuba is not the quiet mother she is at home, but a physically and morally strong athlete who can stand up for herself when and if necessary. Does Lyuba see herself as a coach in the future? Lyubov said that she still has doubts about this. She can be strict and demanding when it comes to herself, but she cannot be that way with others. I think I probably couldn't train small children because I feel compassion for them. I couldn't be a coach for sure, as you have to be very patient, make the athletes do a lot, and I just feel sorry for the kids. I suppose it's my maternal instinct in nature. The story of our modern Cinderella continues. Liubov Basova is moving towards her Olympic dreams. She doesn't have mascots, only a cross and a prayer to her guardian angel. But she has great skills and a huge desire to work hard to realize her dream. Liubov also has reliable supporters, namely her coach and beloved family. Together they will overcome all difficulties, win all the medal they want, come back to their home in Luhansk, and will live happily ever after, just like in the fairy tale about Cinderella.